right, welcome to the Robots Radio host crossover thing that we're doing for the fall. I don't have an official title for it yet, but hey, I'm Tom.
You know what? That is now the official
crossover thing. We did one in the summer. We're doing one in the fall. We've got our holiday episode coming up. These crossover things that we've been doing are for the main shows on the network and the hosts on the main shows. But the one coming up in December at the end of the year will be a crossover with everybody, including our Rocket Club hosts and everybody on the network. But anyway, you might not know that whatever show you're listening to this on is on the Robots Radio podcast network. And I am Tom. I run the network. I also host the Fallout Lorecast, the Elder Scrolls Lorecast, and the Lord of the Rings Lorecast. And with me today are some of our hosts from some of our other shows. We have two of them starting with us. I think more people will pop in a little bit. And we will be discussing our list of things that we are into for the fall. The fall is a wonderful time for new game releases or shows or movies. There's all sorts of stuff going on, and there are things that we are absolutely looking forward to or already playing, possibly, because we're already a little bit into the fall. But hey, welcome to joining me again. We've got Preston. Preston, you were here before. Preston, welcome back.
Well, it's good to be back, Mr. Tom. I was listening to our podcast interview we did on Fallout Lorecast last year about Halloween stuff, so it's almost that anniversary, and I thought that was really fun. But my name is Preston, and I am the creator of True Vault Escapades, a Fallout audio drama, and BioShock, the Midnight series, a little more underrated than that one, but mainly True Vault Escapades here on Robots Radio.
There you go.
And it's good to be here for another collaboration.
Always good to see you. Yeah, super fun. And I loved getting together and talk Fallout with you, of course. And BioShock, there just hasn't been a BioShock game in a while, but like there's been a lot of Fallout stuff happening. So it makes sense that more people are tuning in.
I do what I can while there's a little hiccup in content from BioShock.
Right. But yeah, very good shows. Go check those out if you haven't found them yet. And also joining me is Brad from the 40K Lorecast. Brad, you were just on my show just like a few weeks ago.
Yes, I was. We were talking about how to make a game. I haven't got contacted and I'm mad because I feel like someone should definitely show up and say, you guys were talking about how to make the perfect miniature game in Fallout.
Yeah, we were talking about how to turn Fallout into something that was much bigger than like a D&D clone or like a small combat thing, something like big combat like 40K. And man, I think we had some great ideas. I think we laid it out perfectly for anybody who wants to take that and run with it.
Waiting to hear from it.
Yeah. You would be the guy to consult on that too. They should call you up and say, hey, how should we do this? And
I just got back. I just played in the largest team tournament that we had in the world.
Nice.
The Challenger Cup in Utah, Salt Lake City. It was my first time there. Also, beautiful place.
That's awesome. That sounds like so much fun. That's so cool. Well, I'm glad that the two of you are able to join me. And as I said before, we have some other people. Some things have come up, and they're like personal stuff, but they're trying to make it. They might pop in at any time. But here, let's kick this off because I know you guys are into all sorts of cool stuff. Preston, do you want to start us off? Do you have something this fall that is coming or that you have been playing, or I don't know, what's on your list? What do the people out there want to know that you think is awesome that they might also want to put, say, on their, holiday present list or something?
Okay, I'll have to start this with a question. Is December still considered fall, early December?
Early December. Well, anytime. Yeah. So I'm thinking fall release schedule, which goes into December. So like the gaming industry will regularly drop their big titles between like the end of September and the end of the year. So technically that counts. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I haven't had my finger on the pulse of the gaming world as hard as I wanted it to be. But of course, being a Fallout fan, Burning Springs for Fallout 76.
Yeah.
And this is just reaffirms to me that Fallout 76 just keeps getting better and better. I started with the beta back in 2018, was highly disappointed, like a lot of people were.
Me
too. All of a sudden, it just grew and it exploded.
Yeah.
And it became this great game that I'm on almost like, I guess, every day when I have free time. And of course, we're going to be getting the ghoul voiced by Walton Goggins, which is going to tie in aspects of the show. And
by the way,
yeah,
I'm sorry. He's
so
such a good actor.
He's so good. I recently saw him in The Heat of the Night from back in the 80s. I didn't know he was in that. And
have you seen
Walton Goggins? Geez, he's been in the business for a long time.
Have you seen The Righteous Gemstones?
Oh, I love him, Baby
Oh
Billy
my,
Bible Bunker.
yeah, Uncle Baby Billy. He's so, oh my God, he's so hilarious in that. A completely different kind of role, but he still does the whole like swarthy kind of like, hey y'all, come on now.
Sir,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love him though.
boy.
He played so many different roles, and you realize, oh crap, that's him.
yeah,
You see him in so many things. You're like, oh yeah, he's a pretty good actor.
yeah.
He's
He's
really
great.
good. I'm glad to see he's getting his flowers now because I believe it's White Lotus. He really got to shine as well as Righteous Gemstones, and then of course that coincides with Fallout. And now I see him with like every other Walmart commercial that's on
That's
TV.
true. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yes, I'm very excited for that and the storyline it's going to bring. And I heard from the interview with John Rush that they're trying to incorporate aspects of Fallout New Vegas into Fallout 76 with the sort of desert atmosphere.
Yes.
Obviously, since season two of Fallout's going to be in the Mojave, they're going to try and mingle those things together. And it just sounds like another huge, amazing chunk of lore we're going to get. Something about the Abraxo factory being in Ohio. And when the bombs fell, that's why everything turned into a desert. The Abraxo, I believe they make the detergent.
Detergent. Yeah, they're like a cleaning company. Yeah,
Lots of Fallout
yeah,
stuff. And of
yeah.
course,
Oh
on top
man.
of that, I'm very excited for season two of the show, which is going to come out that same month.
Legit.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, I just did an episode about like what are some of the other reasons why it might turn into a desert. Like it's one thing to say like, oh, there's a chemical spill or something, right? A Braxo company. But I talked. Anybody who listened to my show will know that I talked about like weather patterns and how nuclear winter might change things and how you could maybe potentially, I don't know, bomb enough of the cities around Lake Erie to change the geography and also reduce the amount of water to like. I came up with a bunch of like, well, maybe this is what could happen. I don't know.
Million possibilities.
Is it really possible? Maybe. It's definitely not a desert now, but maybe it could be a desert. So this is super fun. Now, you mentioned in the pre-show when we were just kind of hanging out chatting that you got a new PC. Are you playing Fallout 76 on your PC now, or are you still a console guy for that?
I'm playing it. I completely switched, just like a complete hard
Oh, wow.
switch from Xbox to
love
PC because I've been anticipating it so long now, and I have started Twitch streaming. And so far the only game I've played is 76. I thought
Uh-huh.
I already have a base, like a small fan base of listeners, and they know it's Fallout. So I'm gonna try and be like a Fallout leaning streamer, and I've just been having the time of my life doing.
Nice. What is it like? What is it like to start over on a brand new system with a brand new character this many years after it launched when you'd been playing probably, I'm assuming you're playing the same character or at least one of just a few characters that you had made originally, right?
Well, no crossplay, so I
No
had to
crossplay.
start from the get-go, and it was kind of exciting because I left the Xbox with a level 376 character,
Mm-hmm.
and I had just about done everything. And starting the game anew with Wastelanders and all of the amazing updates they've had since then has been pretty fun. I've been very occupied, surprisingly, even though I've played most of these missions. Starting it from the jump again has been really fun. It's almost like playing a completely new game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so just chatting about Fallout and speculating about the future of Fallout with the chat has been super fun. And next thing you know, 3 hours have gone by and I'm ready to end
Sure.
the game
Right.
because I've just been yapping.
Yeah, the first 50 levels feel very different than everything past that point. Once you get to level 50, you can get kind of the nicer weapons and the whatever, right? But
Mhm.
leveling up to
play
50
so-
is
You play so different for the stream too, though.
that's true.
You know.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, streaming is one of those things that I think a lot of people who don't stream don't realize that especially if you're somebody who's actually interacting with your audience, the dividing of your attention between those two things makes the playing the game part less efficient.
Yes. I was afraid of that actually. I
Yeah.
was thinking like, am I gonna not have a really good time playing this because I'm sort of attending
Yeah.
a whole different conversation? But considering most of my people are Fallout people, we're all on the same page, and I'm
Right.
actually looking forward to the chat that I'm about to see, so we can just drum up a whole new conversation about the topic. And we're just having a really good time so far. I'm already level 65,
Nice.
67 or
That's
something like that.
That's great.
So-
I like that though. It's
Yeah.
but it's nice to discover having something that you've already done multiple times. But when you're streaming and someone's seeing something for the first time, it's kind of cool because it's like you are actually getting to rediscover it because they're getting it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Preston, as I'm sure there are people out there who listen to both of our shows, both of our Fallout shows, who still haven't tried 76 because of such bad press and how poorly it launched like 7 years ago now. 7 years ago? It's like 7 years ago. Yeah. That would have been this month, 7 years ago. So what would you tell them as somebody who has both played a lot, but also gone through the new player experience again? What advice would you give them?
Oh my gosh, I would say please give it a chance because if you liked Fallout for the story-rich environment, this is literally chock full of it because there's so many things, like everything from the main to the side missions to the miscellaneous missions. There is just so much narrative packed stuff in there, and it obviously it pertains to Fallout. If you like Fallout narrative stuff, 76 has it, and it's got way more coming. I would definitely tell them to just give it a try, get up to level 50 or something, then tell me how you think.
Yeah. Would you recommend that they just take whatever quests they come across and just kind of follow the quest chain? Or should they wander in the wilderness looking for things? And if like a world event pops, they just go join it? Like, what do you think?
I would say start with some of the few main and side quests that start up. It actually becomes overwhelming. They have packed so much in there that I have to constantly clear my Pit-Boy objectives of quests. So I don't have like a screen full of things to do, which is a good thing. It's a good problem to have because there's so much you can do. And hey, if you got friends, play with them. That makes it so much more fun.
Yeah. Bring a buddy along with you to just do your quests again and help kill things for you, who's like all geared out. Yeah, absolutely. Brad, have you ever played Fallout 76? I know you've played like the OG Fallouts.
I played all the other Fallouts.
Yeah.
I unfortunately I touched Fallout 76 at release. And I now came back to it.
Yeah. Well, it's worth trying.
I am one of those, excuse me. I am one of those people that went boo and didn't keep going.
Yeah. I get it. But it's worth trying if you want something completely different because it is so different.
I play a lot of different things, and my only thing is anything I play online, I want to smash, so you only have so much time to play.
Yeah. Well, one of the benefits of this one is that you can play it like it's a single player game. In fact, you don't have to, like, there's only 24 people on your map, and the map is almost 5 times the size of Fallout 4's map. So
it is funny. As soon as you brought that up, before we even started going live here, I actually pulled up Fallout 76. I was like, I didn't give it a real try after, and I really love story-driven games.
Yeah.
I'm in it for I'm the person that goes to every nook and cranny, follows every single quest chain. I want to see everything the world has to offer.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot there. And you can do it all by yourself. You don't need to do the multiplayer stuff. And people aren't running they're like combat mode. There's no real PvP thing unless you turn that on. But even then, like, most people don't do that. So you could just wander around in the world doing a bunch of quests and then maybe run into somebody else who just happens to be a player doing their own thing, and then just keep going along with your quest. It like totally works as a single player experience if that's what you were looking for. So it's worth a shot if it's something you wanted to try out. But there's 100 other games out there, and there's tons of other things for sure. So
I have things loaded up already.
Yeah.
I'm late to the party on multiple things on this because I'm super excited because I'm about to start playing Clair Obscura.
Yeah. Okay.
33.
Yeah.
I've got that. Final Fantasy Tactics came out. One of my favorite games of old got released on the computer. Great storyline. I like tactical gaming. Weird. I play 40K. So
really?
Like crazy. So
this guy,
I think that's a great game because it gives a tactical battle, but it also gives a great storyline in the back.
Yeah. Okay. So before we move on to other things, Preston, you good to move on? Can we jump over to Brad stuff?
Yeah. I'm Fallout brained. So
yeah, no problem. No problem. No, it's a big release coming soon. But let's go back to Final Fantasy Tactics. That remake came out just a few weeks ago, if I recall.
It's September 30th.
Yeah, and it's a remake of the original with some improvements and things from what I've heard. I never played the original. I haven't picked this one up either, but I do like the tactical things. But it also is one of the few Final Fantasy games set in Ivalice, which is the same setting as Final Fantasy 9? No, Final Fantasy 11. Yeah. Was it 11? 9 9 had VV in it and little cartoony guys.
And then
it was
10 had all the water polo stuff. And
right. It was 11. It was the one after that, I think. Unless that was the first MMO. I don't remember.
And now I'm going to have to look it up.
But it was the one that was set in...
Well, put it this way. We're in the ballpark.
It was one of those. It's been a long time. It was one of those. But yeah, so it's one of the few games that's set in the same setting as a other Final Fantasy game. And also another game that came out in the 90s that I forget the name of it. I'm sure somebody's yelling at their speakers right now. But yeah, no, it's
fools. You're so wrong.
But from what I've heard, for a tactics game, that is story dense. It's all about
huge,
like this kingdom and this big conflict between it's I guess this post conflict and
it's the post guys, the War of the Lions.
Yeah,
all this subterfuge with this giant religious organization, the big church. There's a lot. I'm a story nerd. I love it, but I also love tactical combat, and the tactical combat's good. It's not. A lot of games with just straight tactical combat, eventually you get to, I know exactly what I'm supposed to do. This has pretty brutal, a couple of the encounters that you meet.
Yeah.
They encourage grinding. Mm-hmm. If you don't grind up and you just walk through, you're going to get to a couple encounters and go, I am horribly underleveled and I'm getting beat up on.
Yeah. Well, you customize each of the characters, right? And then they end up as actual characters. And then if they die, they go away. Is that how that works? Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's some stakes there.
Put down, you get 3 rounds and then they're just gone forever.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Yeah,
okay.
I love it though. I enjoyed it when it first came out and they really did a good job of upgrading it. They gave voice acting to all of the lines now. So, which is super cool sometimes and not as cool other times. Just like,
yeah,
please, please stop saying the same thing to me. I get it.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. Yeah, I never played this. Preston, have you played any of the Final Fantasy stuff? Are you a Final Fantasy guy?
I was so scared you were going to ask me that because I have never touched Final Fantasy in my life. And I've seen it all my life. It's always been present. And I can't say I didn't know about it, but I never touched it. I don't know why, but
yeah, well,
it's said about a lot of other things I haven't played, and I don't want people to burn down my house if I say that.
Sure. Well, you can only play so many games. There's tons of stuff out there, right? And the Final Fantasy series has it's definitely, at one point, it was the definitive Japanese role-playing game, right? Like Final Fantasy VII came out and kind of set the standard for everybody else. And then over the years, they've kind of evolved and changed it a bit. But this one is like a tactics game. So it's got the Final Fantasy thing, but
it's wildly different.
It's way different.
Fantasy game.
Right.
It's tactical battle with a huge story with it.
Okay.
Right. So it's like isometric,
like you. So
yeah,
I can see myself behind it.
I like it a lot. And also it's one of the things you can play a little bit of or a lot of it of because of each board is its own battle. You get a battle, you conclude the battle, more story happens. You go to a different battle and you can.
Yeah.
It's not just a regular CRPG. It's a tactical battle game with a huge amount of story slammed on top of it, which I like it a lot. I also have a lot of, I loved it from back in the day. I mean, it was 30 years ago or 25, 30 years ago when it first came out.
How many are there at this point?
Final Fantasy games? 16 mainline releases, which includes 2 MMOs. And then there's also like the spin-offs like Tactics and some of these other games. And there's also mobile games. And then
there's a bunch for the Switch.
There's a bunch for the Switch. Yeah, there's these like other variations. There's like the cutesy one where everybody looks like a chibi with a big head.
Oh my gosh, I got catching up to do.
Well, you don't need to play all of them. They're some of them are absolute bangers and are totally worth it. Others are just kind of
are not
so much. Yeah, like 13, not great. Or was it 12? I don't even remember the numbers anymore. All right. So what was the other game? You mentioned another game that you've been playing. It's not a new one, Brad.
I'm just starting Clair Obscura.
Clair Obscura. Yes.
And I'm very excited. I've got a bunch of my friends have played it. I've got nothing but good feedback. I've watched. And everybody's like, why are you not playing this? You're a story guy. This is a great story.
Right.
I just was playing some other stuff and dealing with life and I hadn't started it now because I get pretty drawn in, especially if you have a great storyline, then all of a sudden that's my sole function in life is to, to do regular people things, and that I will just do that. And the thing is I'm getting a little bit late to the party because as soon as I play a good story game, I want to talk about it to everyone. And I like playing games a little bit after because I'm a bad person because I get excited and I will spoil things for people if you haven't played it on that.
Yeah.
You're like, no, bad Brad, get off the couch.
Stop. Don't do that. Don't do it.
Yeah. But I get pumped and I want to talk about them. Like, oh man, this and this happened. So
yeah. So for people who don't know what this is, it's a very Final Fantasy-esque kind of game, but it's like a French developer. And the story is set in a world where every year, everyone above a certain age dies. Like they're done. They're done.
Oh.
And so it's gotten down. It started at like 100 or something, right? And it's gotten all the way down to 33 because that's in the title of the game. So everyone who exists in the world is 33 or younger. And this next year of people are about to get killed. And they go on this expedition every year in order to try to figure out what's going on to stop it. But that's never worked so far. And you are part of this scrappy team going on this expedition, dealing with all the weirdness, dealing with all the interpersonal stuff. I haven't played it yet, but I've heard a bit about it. Is that a good summary?
I'm just saying, I'm just starting it.
That is really unique.
I'm so excited because again, everybody's been telling me about it. So I went charactered up and went into the intro screen. So that's the only thing I've done so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm pumped to play it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I've
been playing a bunch of Final Fantasy Tactics is what I've been doing.
Yeah, that's what you've been doing. Yeah, so this game came out, Claire Obscura Expedition 33 came out about this time last year. And so it is significantly discounted in certain places. If you're playing on PC, you can get it for like $40 from a legit store that like you can load it up on Steam.
I'll be able to tell you soon enough, but everybody that I know that's friends of mine has loved it. So I'm very excited to play it.
Yeah, it's down to like $50 on PlayStation and Xbox, so it's kind of up everywhere. So you can go get that if you're interested in it. If that sounds like your thing, I've heard only good things about it. I just haven't picked it up myself because 100 million things to do. So yeah. So any other thoughts on that stuff?
I mean, movies. I got a couple of movies things that I'm really excited for.
Okay. Yeah. What's coming up?
Running Man's coming out.
Oh yeah.
Adaptation that's supposed to be closer to the book. That was written when Stephen King was doing the Bachman books.
Okay.
So, but I'm pumped for that. It's going to be more way like the book itself. That's super gritty. The world's so dark and everything going on. So I'm kind of pumped to see what they do about that.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen the trailers. I mean, it looks intense.
Yeah. I'm super pumped for that. I mean, I'm super pumped for that. I want to see what they're going to do. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And they've been very, very hit and miss with how they're going out. So I want to see what they do with Grogu. Excuse me, in The Mandalorian. I was saying, I think they did a good job of both Andor seasons 1 and 2. So
yeah,
we will see on that. I've been a huge Star Wars fan for a long time. I mean, I'm an old man. I saw Star Wars in the theaters.
Right. So you're lucky. Right? You're very lucky.
Yeah.
When I was 8, I saw Star Wars in a drive-in movie theater.
Oh, that's a dream. Wow. I love that.
All right, so
I had that opportunity. I know that was like huge when it came out. Like, just no one had seen anything like that before.
So with the Mandalorian, clearly it's been a TV show for a while. I think the rumors were that they were working on the next season, and then they were like, no, let's just make it a movie. And so now it's a movie. The teaser trailer came out. The critiques that I've heard have said things like, this doesn't look like a movie. It looks like it's shot like a TV show. The lighting looks more flat. The effects look fairly simple.
What I've saw, but I hope it's better. It's funny they say that. I used to be a huge movie guy, and I watch a ton of movies. I'm more into short series and stuff now because a lot of times you get a movie and it feels rushed and you want to have more fleshed out. And I like the pacing of a 6 to 8 episode season because we don't have the bloat of a 22 network, season where you're some random character gets 3 episodes. You're like, I don't even know who that guy is.
Right.
But
right.
I don't like it when you feel like, especially books that you love and books that you love, video games that you've loved, you want to see them done justice and fleshed out. So I love the series aspect way more.
Yeah. So did you enjoy the original Mandalorian seasons?
I like the Mandalorian seasons quite a bit.
Mhm.
I did not. We will not talk about the Book of Boba Fett. No.
The best
I still
episodes
haven't
of the
seen
Book
it.
of Boba Fett were the Mandalorian
Episodes
episodes.
like that.
It's not
Say, the
great.
only good ones were the Mandalorian episodes.
Right.
Oh, you know.
When Mando shows up, it's like, oh, it's an episode of The Mandalorian. This is great. And then it goes back to whatever they were trying to do. It wasn't. It was not.
Darn,
It's not
I wanted
great.
to see that.
I mean, you can still see it.
I'll still watch it.
It might be worth watching just to kind of like cringe a little bit. Like there are definitely some cringy moments. But here's my hopes.
Dad Bob Boba Fett was not my favorite. Just him hanging out. You're like, it's Boba Fett. Why are you so sad?
yeah. But for the movie, for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, I hope they have so much potential with the Mandalorians, with the history, with the story that they've built in some of these other things, with him as a character, with the mystery surrounding Grogu. There's a lot of really cool stuff they can still cash in on for that. And the fact that they've upgraded to movie, even if it was originally being filmed like a TV show, and so therefore the lighting or the effects aren't as good as you would expect for a movie, as long as the story's really great and the acting's good, I'm probably going to be okay with
I would
that.
say I'm still going to be in.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty easy about that. I mean, I'm going to go slightly off the rails in this. For everybody that's played or read the old Republic stuff, which is thousands of years before, I don't know why they don't use that universe because there's so much going on.
Oh.
There's tons of Jedi. There's tons of different Force users, and there's all kinds of different conflicts. There's different empires out there. It's just exciting things that you could have people that want to do their own story and go, here's this universe of unlimited possibilities and go.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been thinking that since Star Wars: The Old Republic, the video game, the MMORPG came out when I was younger, and I saw those trailers, which are still so bingeable today. And I'm like, they need to explore this universe or this part of the universe because it's just like an untapped gold mine. They don't have to harp on anything. They can just go straight into something that they can, be creative with. There's just so much going on, as you said.
Right. They don't have the burden of the Skywalker story kind of hanging over them and going, well, how
you
do we
don't
deal
need
with
to.
all of this?
You just basically break the ceiling off. You go, hell, if you want to get a series, here's the Mandalorian Wars led into the Jedi Civil War with Revan and Malak, and you go, there you go. There's multiple seasons of great stuff that's been written for you that you could branch out, or you don't think. There's so many other things going on. I'll go into what I get into. Henry Cavill's eventually our 40K. That's another universe that's just gigantic and can kind of go wherever. So
Yeah.
I feel that there's so much untapped sci-fi out there that we haven't seen put on the screen. They keep putting everything in the same packaged old box.
Right.
I love Star Wars, but man, Skywalkers, I'm done with you. The universe is too big to just be you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think it's a fear, like a financial concern? So there's a similarity to, hey, if we're doing Star Wars, we have to stay within the realm of this stuff right here because that's what seems to sell. The same way that movies, especially, like you look at the top grossing movies over the last 10 years and something like 80% of them were sequels or prequels.
Yeah.
Right. And it's because they're afraid that people don't want to try something new. And so they keep trying to go back to the well. But then they get all this criticism online about people going,
but they're also
give us new stuff
because you can only do so many things.
Right. Right. But every time people say, give us new stuff, it seems like it doesn't seem to work out. And so they just keep on getting confirmation that they should go back to the well.
Saying those Old Republic, if you watch those, the trailers that they put out and they go in succession, I would be the take my money. I'm telling you, it's just people with, love that. That's what the thing that draws you in.
But how do you convince the money people of that? Like you and I and Preston are all on board for that. But
I don't know because
it's like the CFO of the company who's totally disconnected from any other fan base because they just happen to work for Disney or whatever, and they have
trailers and watch them be amazed.
But do they even have heart?
They don't have a room with people watching them losing their mind and go, you will print money by doing this.
You know what they need to do? They need to do what Ryan Reynolds did with Deadpool is you need to get somebody to film a test test footage, a 5-minute test footage of some badass Old Republic Jedis fighting some sort of badass aliens that we don't even know about because it's from the Old Republic and they're no longer around. Something like that in some sort of live action scene filmed with like professional quality stuff, the way they did the Deadpool leak, right? And then you let that go viral online, and then some executive somewhere is going to go, we need to do this.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, I agree, sir. I know, but I get so excited for that kind of stuff, and I know tons of other people feel the same way. There's a great fan base for those things built in. Use the expanded universe of that. It's already there for you. Make cool stuff, and then you could put the name over top of it. You can just slam, this is Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's just so big. I'm super, what I really want to, because every couple of years you hear somebody talking about it. I'm a huge Mass Effect fan, and I want that to be a series so badly.
A TV series? Yeah.
Yes.
Specifically, yeah.
But it plays like that when you think about all the things you do in the game and the as you progress and you're going to different places and you keep going back to the Citadel and everything else. It's just, it plays like a series. Each time you would go to a different place, that's the episode, the next couple episode arc. I feel like that's one of those things where it just writes itself. You're like, oh, this is perfect. You're at, you're at this place, then you're in this place, you're in this place.
Yeah.
It would be fantastic. There's some things that I really, really want them to do a good job. And I'm always wanting to not badmouth something, even if I don't like it that much, because I want them to continue to make things.
Right. Well, that's how I feel about the Star Wars stuff, is like, even though not all the films have hit, even though they haven't done a great job, I don't want them to stop trying. I want badass Star Wars stuff. Please keep trying until you figure it out, and you can now deliver that. Right. But so the critique makes sense. You want to critique it, but you also don't want to kill it. Just do better, please.
Yes. But you still got to get somebody that's wanting and willing to throw money at it.
Yeah.
When we had the Rings of Power and every, Wheel of Time and things like that, you're like, was I 100% behind those? No. But do I want them to keep getting made? 100%, because that's my
exactly.
I love sci-fi and fantasy. I've been a nerd for a long time with these things.
Right. Like, what if Marvel had stopped trying before they got to Iron Man? It's time for that spring reset. I'm taking a look at everything in my closet and figuring out that, oh no, this absolutely needs to go. And it's about time I replace things so that my clothes aren't older than my 15-year-old. Now, you might think that they lasted that long because they were well made, but no, they're in terrible condition. Unlike the new jeans I just got from Quince. Jeans have always been my personal go-to because you can kind of wear them for lots of different things, but maybe they're not your thing. Maybe you're looking for, 100% European linen with insanely soft flow knit activewear fabric. It's definitely getting warmer, and their flow knit activewear is moisture wicking, anti-odor, and soft enough that you'll actually want to wear it every day. So pick out what you want. You can't go wrong because they have prices 50 to 60% less than similar brands. And like I said before, they are high quality. I continue to wear their clothes all the time, and I know that these new jeans are going to last me a lot better than the other things in my wardrobe. And on top of it, they look great. They're so comfortable, and I spent just as much on the jeans that I am now cleaning out of my wardrobe. So if you're looking for something better, just all around better, go check out Quince. So go do it right now. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/ringslore for free shipping and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. Go to quince.com/ringslore for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/ringslore.
If you felt stuck trying to lose weight, you're not alone. Enter Weight Loss by Hers. It's designed to support you in reaching your goals. And Hers now offers access to an affordable range of FDA-approved GLP-1 medications, including the Wegovy pill and the Wegovy pen. With Wegovy at Hers, lose up to 20% or more of your body weight when combined with diet and exercise. It helps you regulate your appetite, eat less, and keep weight off. Plus, Wegovy is the first GLP-1 available in a pill, so there are no needles needed. Everything is 100% online through Hers. You'll connect with a licensed provider who will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is delivered right to your door. No insurance necessary. And it doesn't stop there. Weight Loss by Hers goes beyond medication by offering access to 24/7 messaging with your care team and tons of in-app lifestyle and nutrition tips like recipes, meal plans, fitness videos, sleep content, and more. Even better, with a range of affordable GLP-1 options, Hers makes it simple to find an approach that fits your needs and your budget if eligible. You'll get a treatment plan personalized to you and unlimited dosage changes as needed. It's weight loss designed to work with your life. Ready to reach your goals? Visit forhers.com/women to get personalized, affordable care that gets you. That's forhers.com/women. forhers.com/women. Weight Loss by Hers is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is the registered trademark of Novo Nordisk A/S. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information, and restrictions, visit forhers.com.
I mean,
Whoa.
yes, exactly.
Like, not all of their movies are like the best, sure, but there are some in there that are some of the best cinema we've gotten in the last 20 years. You know, just from a standpoint of like action hero kind of stuff. You know, clearly certain types of films are going to be different than that, but yeah, like, okay, so they never get to Iron Man, you never get the Avengers, you never get Endgame. You know, like, are you kidding? Like, just because they stopped. What if they got to the first Hulk and were like, yeah, I guess we're done. This one didn't really work out great. Like,
yeah, well, that is a real thing. It kind of almost happened, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
too. If you look at it, how it was.
Yeah, it's kind of a glitch. Yeah. All right. So here, I gotta toss some into the mix. I've got to throw some things out there. Battlefield 6 just launched just this last weekend. I've been playing it a bit. I played the open beta times, things like that. I've been a Battlefield guy since 1942. I think I've played almost all of them except for 2142. I don't think I ever picked that one up. But I've played all the mainline Battlefields. Have you guys into Battlefield at all?
I know Battlefield because a bunch of my friends are, but we were talking before. My crappy ability to not see colors, and I'm an old man, means that I am the king of just getting headshot. You're like, are you even trying? So
I can't tell which team that is. Okay,
yeah.
got it.
I am an anchor on everybody's squads. No, I don't play a lot of shooters because of that, because I'm like, so please don't let Brad in our lobby anymore. We'd like to win one here and there.
Well, it's funny you say that. I just finished it before I got on this Zoom.
The campaign?
And I played 2 matches of Conquest just to get my feet wet with the multiplayer, and I did play the beta. Well, first thing that came to mind was after beating the campaign and seeing what IGN rated it, a 5 out of 10. I was like, what? This was good. And I don't know about anybody else listening that played Battlefield 6. That was an amazing campaign, and I thought it was going to cut off shorter than what it was going to be. I thought it was going to be something rushed, but it felt rather full, and I really enjoyed the story. Because I'm a story guy, like Brad. And so I played the multiplayer just now. I played the 2 different maps. One of them was like in the desert. One of them was that one in the beta with the snow-capped mountains. Okay. And I surprisingly did good. And I usually am a very slow starter into Battlefield, because the gameplay is more like, I guess you would say realistic, like with
chaotic
and all that thing, all that stuff. So I was like, okay, I guess the campaign trained me to be good at multiplayer. Nice. So I'm pretty satisfied. So
yeah, I haven't tried the campaign at all yet. I've only done multiplayer, and even though I'm getting older, I find that for some reason my reaction time and decision making in first-person shooters still holds up pretty well. Once I learn the maps, I'm just going to pat myself on the back a little bit here. Once I learn the maps, I'm usually in the top 4 on any like random server that I play on, so I do okay. Or I'm just the guy who's actually, capping points and getting points for it. I don't know. But
if I was in a lobby with all bots, I would still be the last.
No.
Oh no. But I do enjoy it. I love So the thing I love about Battlefield, first of all, it's not Call of Duty. Call of Duty has its place, right? The frantic, like everything, just you die every 2 seconds, you get up and shoot somebody else. And to me, that had its time and place, and I'm not that guy anymore. But Battlefield always seems to have more options and more emergent gameplay due to the devices you have, the physics, the way the vehicles work, the way different elements work, the way buildings can collapse and do all sorts of crazy things.
Oh, yeah.
And even just in playing a little bit this weekend, because I haven't had a ton of time to play, but playing a little bit this weekend, I had a moment where I came across an ATV, because this is every so often they'll have ATVs in these games, right? And my wife would even play Battlefield with me. We called it the Speedy Quick. I'd be like, get on the Speedy Quick. We're going to get on the Speedy Quick. We're going to go all the way across the map and cap their back point, and before they even know we're there, right? So I hop on and I'm like, cool, they got a Speedy Quick, and I'm driving directly into enemy territory, just making the bad choice of like, I'm just going to gun it right through.
Overextend.
Yeah, I'm overextend. I know I'm just going to get capped, but I don't know the map yet. I'm basically just doing reconnaissance. I'm trying to get my bearings, right? I come up on a hill, and there's, sure enough, a sniper just like hanging out by some rocks in a tree up on this hill. And he stands up and looks at me like, oh, you're not supposed to be here. And so I just go right at him. I hop off the vehicle. The ATV continues to go through, like right into him, mows him over. He ragdolls off the rock. And I'm like, there you go, buddy. Hop back on the vehicle, go cap point A all by myself. And I was like, this is freaking Battlefield.
That's Battlefield, exactly.
Yeah. And then the next moment, I'm getting sniped in the head by somebody, and I thought I was totally safe. You know, like it's just how it goes.
A second chance, at least you can like scream out for help, help.
Yeah, yeah. My son and I have been playing it together. He's 15, so like he's into these games now, and like he was trying to. You get little quests. He's trying to level up certain points by like playing support, which isn't usually what he does. And I'm like, tell you what, you're going to be my support guy. You're going to reload me anti-tank ammo, and we're just going to go hunt tanks. That's all we're doing. We're just tank hunting, you know? And sure enough, we're just running around having a great time, shooting all my stuff. And he's like, here's some more supplies. He's watching my back while I scope in on the tanks with the rockets, you know, like it's a great time. Yeah, we died a ton, but we had a lot of fun too, you know? And so, yeah, so Battlefield's always that's on my list, especially when I have friends to play with. I've got some great Battlefield stories throughout the years. I've got another one. Did you ever play Battlefield? Which one was it? Battlefield, not Vietnam. What was Bad Company 2. It must have been Bad Company 2.
That was my first Battlefield.
Was that your first? So Bad Company 2, and my wife and another friend and I were playing, and we're playing. I think there was a release of maps that were like callbacks to Battlefield Vietnam, because you definitely had the old helicopter and it looked like Vietnam. And we're at the end of the match, and time is running out. We need to cap another point, or we will run out of points. We'll lose the match. And we, all three of us, just happened to die and respawn back at our base. And we're like, crap, what do we do? And I'm like, there's a helicopter here. Get on the chopper. Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. And so I'm piloting, and I'm like, I'm going to fly right over their base, and when I'm over, I will tell you, I will say bail, and you will bail, and you will float right back down and get that point, because they don't know we're coming. And we're flying in, and we're getting close, and all of a sudden I hear boop, 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 boop. I'm getting targeted by a missile, and I'm like, hold, wait, go. They bail out, and then as soon as they bail out, I'm like, okay, I can bail out now. I bail out right as the missile hits the helicopter, and the physics of the game spin the helicopter so that the tail of the helicopter smacks my character. The next thing I see is I hear them going, all right, we're on the point. We're getting it. Where are you? And I just see trees flying past me. My character is like pushed through the forest and then smacks right in a tree, and I'm dead. And so I'm like, sorry guys, I got smacked into the trees, but they capped the point. We won. It was a great accomplishment. And like the physics happened in just a way that it was just like, this is crazy. So yeah, so Battlefield has a place in my heart for just like those kinds of moments, those Battlefield moments. Those are great. Another game, this one's not new, but it was moved onto Steam recently. It was something that they launched on their own website and then recently launched on Steam. It's been kind of in like a early release. I don't think it's officially early release anymore, but it's a game called The Bazaar, Bazaar. It's like an auto battler, kind of like Hearthstone Battlegrounds, where it's more about choosing your stuff and lining them up, and less about any sort of like reactionary, playing. It's all very strategic and carefully choosing and building the right deck of cards or the right set of items, that kind of thing. And this game is really well done, especially for still kind of feeling early. The production quality on it is very high. And it's the kind of game where you pick a character. So like maybe you pick the little robot guy, Dooley, or maybe you pick Vanessa. She's like the pirate lady or whatever. And every round you get a selection of things you can do. You can either go shop for something, or you can get like, maybe it's like, oh, here's 5 gold. You can just pick that one. Or maybe there's a third option that's like, random chance for this crazy thing, whatever. So you pick your thing and you've got your board in front of you. Your board in front of you can hold only so many items. You've got small items, medium items, which are twice as big, and large items, which are 3 times as big as a small item. And you have to buy stuff and put it out on your board. And then when you fight somebody else, everything automatically runs, right? So if you buy like the katana, every 2 seconds it attacks, and base damage is 5. But then that could grow because you can get like these perks or skills that maybe all weapons on your board get 10 extra damage. So now every 2 seconds it does 15 or something like that. But there's a whole bunch of different things you can do. You got poisons, you got regen, you have fire, you've got damage, you've shields. You can build out different strategies for each of these characters in multiple ways. And you always have to take into consideration which things just happen to show up. And then, so everything moves like a day. So you start a day, and then you have 2 rounds of just selecting stuff. So maybe you're shopping, maybe you're picking random things, maybe you get a random item, whatever. Sometimes there's special stuff too that does like really cool things. And then after those 2, you fight an NPC. You pick one of 3 NPCs, like easy, medium, hard, and you get different things from them depending on if you win. If you win that fight, you get like some gold and some XP, and maybe an item drops that you want or a skill drops that you want. And then you go through 2 more days. And then you fight somebody else, but you're not fighting them live. You're fighting their ghost of their character at that day.
Oh,
yeah.
That's interesting.
Right. So you can pause the game at any time and come back and play. It's not like Hearthstone Battlegrounds where you have to be live and you're fighting against live people. Yeah. Right. So I can get 3 days in and be like, okay, well, I need to do something else. Pause it or turn it off, come back and play it some more. But what that means is if you've got a really great build, other people have to deal with your ghost, which means you're kicking everybody's butt, even though you don't know it, which is kind of fun to think about. But then you see how many wins you can get, and after so many losses, you're out, and then after so many wins, you either get to like bronze, silver, or totally 10 wins and you totally win. You open some chests, you get some cosmetics and other stuff. But it's a lot of fun. It's very strategic. There's 5 different characters. Only 2 of them I'm super familiar with. Obviously you fight against other characters a lot, but all sorts of different strategies. Very, very different than a lot of stuff that I've played, but also way more polished than a lot of games at this stage in the development seem to be. So it's one of those games that most people don't know about, but probably go take a look. It's called The Bazaar, Bazaar.
I like that. I'm looking that up already.
Yeah,
I like a lot of stuff like that. I sometimes I feel like I'm cutting edge on games, and other times I'm finding, hey, did you guys see that new movie Heat? I'm coming in a little later in the game sometimes.
Yeah.
But I like playing some of the older games sometimes though, because you can find out strategies, you can figure out a lot of also you play a game a little bit after it's came out. Well, they fixed all the bugs and they've added DLCs and everything else.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I've been playing lately. Those 2 are coming out. I haven't picked up a Switch 2, but it seems like there's some cool Switch stuff with the new games that have come out for that. Like I haven't tried the new Mario Kart or the Donkey Kong games. Got real good reviews. They re-released Galaxy and Galaxy 2 for both Switch and Switch 2. I don't know if you guys are Mario guys, but those were fun.
That's one of those games I'm afraid to admit I didn't really play.
That's okay.
It's funny
That's
because I only have ever played all the Mario Kart games and stuff like that just to get together.
Yeah.
So I never have them. I just, you have a group of people get together and all of a sudden we're playing Mario Kart and stuff like that.
Yeah. Having kids 10 years apart means that I've regularly kept a Nintendo console in my house now for 25 years. So I have those around, and if it was just me, I probably wouldn't buy them. But having kids and having those, kids to play with, and seeing the enjoyment of playing such family friendly, like well designed games. It's a nice thing that like Mario games exist and continue to be made because they really
forever.
are.
They've been popular for forever.
Right.
It's crazy.
Because so much of children's stuff is super crappy, you know? But that stuff is like, it's good for kids. It's good for everybody. And it's like always at least a certain level of quality. And you can kind of just expect that. And, you know, you gotta give them credit for that.
Anything that's been good for 40 something years now, you're doing pretty decent with it. I like. Also, I thought you had the Simba on your shirt, and it's just a bear. Now I'm sad.
A bear on my shirt?
Wait, you mean?
Oh, you're his shirt. Okay.
Okay, I saw this angry bear at the store, and I gotta have it.
I could only see the top of it the way you were saying.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know what brand this is.
I thought
either.
you were
It's
rocking
just like-
Simba getting held up.
My shirt's a lesson from like The Witcher. So like,
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say.
it's not a bear.
Cool.
Definitely, yeah.
It's very Halloween-y. Yeah. Yeah. So, Preston, anything else on your list? Anything beyond just Fallout? I know that absorbs you. You're very much a Fallout guy.
Well, I was trying. I mean, I do, of course. I like other things, but I'm trying to think of like fall or just the remainder of this year.
Or is there a thing that you come back to at like? Do you ever feel like certain games or certain movies are a seasonal thing, and you're like, oh, it's the fall, I get to do this again? Or like holidays. It's holiday time. I'm gonna watch Die Hard.
I was just saying, you watching the Christmas Die Hard movie,
Right?
Less of movies. I don't rewatch movies and shows like other people.
I don't either. I love movies,
don't
but
want
I
that.
watch something one time and I could probably tell you the entire plot.
Exactly.
If it was good, I don't need to watch it a second time. I can tell you exactly what happened.
I'm the exact opposite with that, guys. I've seen Empire Strikes Back in the probably. I mean,
Well, that's an exception. Star Wars, I watch on.
I put that in
repeat.
I was saying, I was randomly playing games with the Raiders game on and Empire Strikes Back on one of my other screens because I need to make sure that insanity is always happening. You're like, what is going on? I'm an eclectic gentleman.
I can appreciate that. I mean, we were talking about how we use PS2s as like our first DVD players, and I think that's what I was watching. I was watching the whole saga. Before I went to sleep as a kid or like an early teen, I would like have the whole saga DVDs playing on my PS2, just over and over until I fell asleep, and I could go to sleep to Phantom Menace, and I wake up when we're at Empire Strikes Back, and I would
Nice.
just know.
I love everything about that. I do that too because I've watched some movies and series so much that I will go to sleep to them because I don't need to watch the screen. I know exactly what's happening by the
Background.
It's a radio show.
Background
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Right.
I don't know if you guys have watched. I think Silo 3 and Foundation season 3 are both coming out.
No.
Here.
No,
No.
I haven't.
I'm not up on those. So can you give us like the elevator pitch?
Silo is. I can't even give the elevator pitch because it's such a bunch of twists and turns and stuff. But Foundation is the Isaac
The
Asimov's
book. Right.
Yeah, the huge series. And I'm actually really surprised. Like season 1 was okay. Season 2 is came out pretty strong on that. Some people loved it, some people hate it, but I really thought it was one of those. We talked about people taking risks. That's a series that spans a gigantic amount of time. And I thought it was such a wild undertaking that I kind of just want to like it because I want more of that.
Right.
And people willing to take that risk. It's a new, they just took something that isn't an established, series and stuff and went on with it. It's pretty decent. I like the fact that they're attempting to do that stuff. I think they're both, both Apple TV series.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I watched part of the first episode and then just something I didn't get to finish it, and then I just never went back. But I've heard good things. So yeah, and I like when these The Expanse. I always bring up The Expanse. Like it's another one of those like take the book, see if you can make a book that would be very difficult into a TV series, and then they nailed it. Like they did an amazing job, and so yeah, a lot of respect for just taking that risk. Good stuff.
I think they did a great job of it too. I mean, we talked about this. I think the first time we talked, I read the Expanse books, and was falling asleep and put on the Sci-Fi channel because that's what it was originally on.
Mhm.
And I was like, this seems so familiar. And I'm like, because I'm half asleep. I'm like, holy crap, these are the books.
Oh yeah.
And I feel The Expanse is one of the shows that does really is close to the books. And it's not exactly the books, but it gives
It's
them
close. Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
And I like that. What throw that to you. What is one of your favorite either video game adaptations or book adaptations that you felt came as close to the soul of the product? You know,
Well, I have to. I mean, The Expanse. First of all, great stuff. Even if you haven't read the book, just watch the show. It's great. It's totally worth it. It's on Amazon. You can go. If you have Amazon Prime, you can just watch it. And also one of the sci-fi movies, sci-fi space movies that does the science of how things actually work in space really, really well. Like when there's combat and they're shooting machine guns at each other, they have to turn off like the oxygen in the building because they know they're going to get pierced with bullets and all the oxygen will go away, right? So like, and then the gravity only works in a certain direction because they are accelerating in a different direction, right? And so that's what creates artificial gravity. They have magnetic boots in order to walk around the ship because if they didn't, they would just float. Like all of the physics of the show is really, really intricately done, but it creates really cool story moments because of that. And so those two things work really well together, as opposed to Star Wars, which of course we all love Star Wars, but is fantasy in space, and there's really nothing about real space physics in
don't worry about it. They have magic. Don't worry about it.
It's fun. Right. So if you want something, the complete flip side that tells a very intricate and expects you to be intelligent and pay attention to actually get all the story beats, The Expanse is absolutely where you want to be for that. The best video game adaptation, I have to say, I mean, I do a Fallout show, but it's the Fallout TV show. The first season blew everyone away, and absolutely, like there are people out there who will argue that it like ruins the ending of New Vegas, or they changed the location of the NCR city.
It has the
name of it, Shady Sands. Yeah,
though that's the biggest.
But it feels right. It feels right. Yeah, absolutely.
The soul of Fallout is in it. That's for sure, and I think that's really what counts.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And the characters are well done. The acting is very good. The sets are very good. There's, TV special effects aren't always the best they possibly could be, but it's forgivable. It's totally fine because they have a limited budget. Like, yes, the feeling of the show is very good. It's just as dark and just as wacky and weird as anything that you would ever see in a Fallout game. So yeah, those are the top of my list. In fact, this is a great topic to kind of end the episode on as we get close to the end here. Preston, what are your best conversions from like either books or games or whatever to other media?
I was brainstorming that while you were talking.
Or the other way around. Like, is there a TV show or book that became a game, or something like that you were like, oh, this is actually really good?
Okay, well, first that comes to mind, a book that came from a video game was BioShock by John Shirley. It tells the story of how Andrew Ryan built Rapture and then how the city fell. If you haven't read it, super good book. I highly recommend it.
Based on the very first BioShock game, right?
Very first BioShock game, and it tells it literally starts in New York in 1946 when Andrew Ryan thinks up Rapture, and then the construction happens and the city thrives, and then all this terrible stuff happens.
Right.
Right. And I guess other than that, just Star Wars, because there's a million Star Wars book adaptations and comic adaptations, and there's also a million video games based off Star Wars, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my biggest one in the history of Star Wars games was Star Wars Galaxies, the MMORPG.
The old, so good. The 2000s pre Old Republic one, where you could be like, I'm just going to run a diner.
Yes. You have people, you're just dancing for credits and stuff, and you could do
it was so expansive and fun, and I never played a game like that as a kid at that point, because at that point I had just been playing like Crash Bandicoot, which I was addicted to, and then when I started to expand my tastes, I picked up Star Wars Galaxies, and it's like, oh, this is a whole new experience. You can be who you want, do what you want, and one thing I liked about it compared to other MMORPGs is that the maps for the planets are not cut off. off. It's not like pathways or sections. You can literally take a speeder and go across Tatooine and end up eventually back where you were because it's just that open. And I know it's kind of trailing off from the book conversation, but that's just how much.
No, I love that though, because that game was one of the few MMORPGs that you could just play however the hell you wanted to play.
Exactly.
You're like, hey, do you want to just make stuff and be a shopkeeper effectively? Cool. You could do crazy combat, but you could just do kind of anything. I like open-ended where you're not told how to do anything. I mean, I guess that's my as an old man, I'm still trying to rebel against the system. You're not allowed to tell me how to do. I'll do the opposite thing that you're saying I have to do.
Right. So here's fun news. Turns out, and this is shady legally, but there's still at least one private server for Star Wars Galaxy. It's called Star Wars Galaxy Legends. I just looked this up. There's currently online right now 803 people with a unique player population of 4,588 people. So who knows how long it'll be online if like they're going to get shut down by Disney. I don't know anything about this. I just found this out now, but turns out that
emulator. Yeah.
I guess you could still go play. Yeah. Like maybe you can still go play with like currently right now, 803 other people. You could.
I love everything about that because some of the communities are so powerful and they make things happen. And I love that. That's just amazing.
Yeah. Cool stuff. All right. Brad, do you have any other last, let's throw the question back to you. Movie to video game adaptations, books, any direction? What's on the top of your list?
I'm going to go. The only thing I'm going to look at is I still want old Star Wars, things from the Old Republic. We were talking about that earlier, because the original two Knights of the Old Republic games were fantastic single player games. And then they did the MMORPG, which you could play as a single. And I thought that felt more Star Wars than like most of the other Star Wars stuff as far as the adaptations for me. And I've been a huge Star Wars fan my whole life. It was just that was my first sci-fi. Again, 8-year-old Brad at the drive-in watching Star Wars. I was that right there is what I am into. And from then on, I was hooked, and I love stuff like that. Huge. I'm looking forward. I'm a 40K guy. I'm super looking forward to that. I thought if you haven't watched it, the secret level episode for 40K was fantastic. It really felt like the grimdark of the 40K universe.
Have you seen this, Preston? Have you seen the secret level? And it's on Amazon, and then the 40K episode.
No, I haven't. In fact, I'm not even very familiar with
40K.
40K.
Yeah. So
it's a
Space Marines.
Yeah. Watch it out. The power armored giant guys.
Badass.
It's very cool. There's nothing but bad happening in 40K.
Everybody's terrible. The future is dark. Yeah.
You're like, is there good guys? Nope. Just everybody is a degree of awful.
Everyone's doing the atrocities to their own people to just survive. Yeah. It's kind of same kind of thing. But yeah, go look that up. It's very good. Astartes, the guy who did Astartes on YouTube. Look up Astartes.
Oh, that's so good too.
That came first. That guy had a major role in the secret level episode, and you could see the connection there with the way the shots are framed, the way the characters play out.
He does
I'm looking at it now.
Going for close-ups and stuff.
Yes,
I just love.
It's very good.
It's one of the things I love because in the lore, it's a tabletop game, so it's very hard to balance. You've got a bunch of different factions. But in the lore itself, the Space Marines just walk through regular people like they just don't exist.
Right. Like
you
butter.
See that in the secret level. Yeah.
On a hot knife.
In the game, you got enough me's with little guns. I'll eventually put down a Marine. In reality, you're like, no, that the secret level episode, that's what happens to regular people that try to mess with Space Marines.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's real good. Yeah, absolutely.
I like that quite a bit.
Awesome. Well, this has been a lot of fun. I guess other people can show up. I know some unfortunately, some things happen with different family situations, and
Life
happens. Life happens. Usually we have more people joining us than this, but hey, it's a fun little fall crossover episode. I think we had a wonderful discussion.
I show up for my first time on this.
Just
Everybody
scared everyone
decides not
away.
to come.
What are you
I heard
doing?
Brad was coming. I gotta wash my hair.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, but we will be back in December at the end of the year for the big crossover episode. So Robots Radio hosts, which there are definitely more than just 3 of us, plus hosts from the Rocket Club. So all the newer shows that have signed up who are just getting into podcasting, all of that stuff. So we're going to have a big end of the year show like we normally do, where we will be talking about our favorite things over the whole year. So that's coming up towards the end of the year. It's kind of the, like, let's just put this out. It's kind of just a fun wrap up sort of thing. So there you go. That's coming up. I know whenever you're listening to this episode on whatever feed you're listening to this on, the next episode will be back to whatever is normal. So for me and my shows, it'll be back to those. But here, let's go back through and let people know how they can check out your stuff. Preston, where can they find you? Where can they find your episodes? All that kind of thing.
You can find True Vault Escapades, a Fallout audio drama, literally anywhere you get your podcasts. Spotify is our most popular format there. And shameless little pat on the back here, Chris Avalone recently listened to it and gave it a thumbs up. So if you really are, one of those Fallout purists that listens to the creators of the game and really appreciates what they say, he likes the show, so please listen. But there's that. We're also on YouTube, and I'm on Blue Sky, True Vault Escapades. If you just type in True Vault Escapades anywhere on the socials, you will find us there, and truly appreciates all of the future listeners out there.
Yeah. In fact, if you just search Fallout on like Apple or Spotify, the shows will come up. You'll see the Fallout Lorecast. You'll see the True Vault Escapades. You'll see a few other Fallout shows that are on the network. Most of the shows that show up on the top line are or have been on the Robots Radio Network for Fallout. So you can't go wrong. Click those. But remember True Vault Escapades if you want his story. Like, you've been doing this for years. People are constantly saying, "Man, the show's so good. I love these characters," all of that stuff. So congratulations on creating such fun content. But thanks for joining us, Preston.
Of course.
Yeah. And then Brad,
Thanks for having me.
Brad, how can people find your stuff?
The 40K Lorecast. I wish I was better at socials, but we're 40KLorecast.com, Spotify. We finally made our foray into YouTube, where we're putting up old episodes, and we're putting up 2 of our new shows, which 2 Men and a Handler and the History of 40K. Basically anything 40K Lorecast, you will find me. iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. We are all of the places. Check out the Discord. The Discord's been going strong. Love it.
Yeah. So you have your own Discord, which you started before you guys joined the Robots Radio Network. And that has a ton of people all talking 40K stuff. There's also a 40K Lorecast channel on the Robots Radio Discord.
Yep.
So if you're already on there, or you want to get a hold of Brad, you can always post in there as well. So you could just be a part of both. Why not?
Exactly. I was just about to say, and we're happy to be on Robots. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm glad you guys are here. Yeah, it's so fun to have other lore shows, other really fun hosts who are as into this as we are. But also, you mentioned multiple times your community over on your Discord, all of that.
I love it.
We both.
We just recently hit over 10,000 people in the Discord.
That's great.
Wow,
That's great.
congratulations.
Yeah, we both have these like very. And they're cultivated communities. Like, if people show up and they're spamming crap, or they just aren't getting along and causing problems, they don't last. So if you're looking for a part of the internet that isn't as toxic as most of the internet these days, come join us.
I just love that. I want to tell people to come on over to Robots, come over to us. There's a lot of great conversation of anything sci-fi, fantasy, gaming. Who cares? Somebody will, if you say something about anything in those realms, somebody will talk about it with you, and you'll get a good time. It's just nice to have a social place to hang out.
Yeah, I love that. People are also very creative. All the time people are posting like, here's some drawing I did of my Elder Scrolls character. Here's me painting my minifigures for Warhammer. Here's, check out this. And there's just this general positivity of like, yeah, man, that's great. Even if I'm not into the same thing you are, I'm so glad that you're loving doing that, and you're just like nerding out about something. That's awesome. So
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Brad, thank you for joining. If you want my stuff, it's the Fallout Lorecast, the Elder Scrolls Lorecast, or the Lord of the Rings Lorecast. That one's a little bit different because the others are more about games that are also other media sometimes. And then this is more about the books. And the reason the Lord of the Rings Lorecast started was because I realized that there weren't any other good podcasts out there that took you step by step through the Silmarillion and explained what any of that stuff actually means, because the book is so dense. So that's how the show started, and it took off. People seem to really enjoy that. We're almost all the way through The Hobbit now.
Sorry, it just made me laugh because my partner John and I that do the Lorecast together we were coming over to Robots Radio, and I go, I really think I know his voice.
Yeah.
And I realized that I had listened to a ton of your cast, and I got crap from John because he's like, how are you such a moron that you've listened to tens or hundreds of hours of his content and didn't realize it? I go, sometimes I take a little while to get things going.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. But yeah, we've been having fun getting through The Hobbit. I get through The Hobbit maybe 3 pages at a time, but it's not as dense as something like the Silmarillion, but he's such a good author that I can tell you so much about every little detail, every word he uses, the literary perspective he's using in this one section, how this part references something else from the Silmarillion, even though the Silmarillion wasn't even published yet, like all of that stuff. So it's been a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun doing that show as well. So go check out the other shows on the network, robotsradio.net, for just a list of all the shows and links to everything. All that stuff is available. Thank you guys for joining me. This has been super fun. And we'll have to get back together during the Christmas thing with a bunch more people and do kind of the end of the year wrap up. So
yeah, looking forward to it.
Looking forward to that too.
Indeed.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for this episode. Until next time, stay safe out there and go check out some of the stuff that we threw out. If any of the things we mentioned were fun ideas, go check them out. Maybe they'd be good, like, Christmas gifts, or I don't know, just something to do because you're looking for something else to do. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. And this show will be back to what it is normally next time. All right. See you later.
Bye. I have one thing to close, not recording, but thing.